In this video, we're going to take some of our figs that we harvested a few months ago and we're going to make some Betty Crocker Ultimate Fig Bars. Well, they actually were called date bars, but we used our dehydrated figs. And oh my goodness, you're not going to believe how simple this recipe is. Stick along with us and see how we make this.
Hi, I'm Bowtie Dave.
Good morning and welcome to Bowtie Life. This is going to be another one of those strange videos that if you saw the little segment before the opening credits, you know whether this was successful or not. So, we are going to try and make some date bars out of some of those figs that we harvested. Here's a little video of the tree that we harvested from. It's at a friend's house. We harvested 30 some odd pounds of figs from this tree and they are amazing. I just love the taste of the figs, and we will be taking these figs. I've already dehydrated them in the dehydrator, and we are going to be doing a recipe that I found online called Ultimate Date Bars, and is from, well, the printed pages are from My Country Table. And she tells a story about how when she was younger, they used to make Betty Crocker mix kit of Ultimate Date Bars. And years later, her husband brought her a cookbook, a Betty Crocker cookbook, and she says on page 72, there was that recipe. And that kind of got me excited. I like these kind of things. However, my sister-in-law, she's an incredible cook. She actually used some of our dates that I sent up to Des Moines and made some of these date bars, and she raved about them. Her and my brother both said they were incredible, and I had to have them. So here we are. It's a Monday, and you know what? I am totally alone in the house. Mrs. Bowtie is off at work right now, and I am completely unsupervised. If this wasn't okay, she shouldn't have bought me the t-shirt. That's how I think about it. So we're going to try this and see what kind of trouble we can make in the next, 12 days of videoing. We'll see how long this is. Those of you who watch the channel know that I'm not exactly the guy you want in the kitchen. I can find my way around measuring things and mixing things. And most important, I can follow instructions, so I'm a little bit excited that there's good instructions. And I will be following these instructions. I will include the recipe in the description. I'll also have a screenshot here in a little bit of the items we're going to be using, the ingredients in this recipe, and you will be able to, you can take a picture of the screen, or you can copy and paste or print the video thing, or you can go to My Country Table. I probably should include a link to this page in the description, to be fair, because she did such a great job with this recipe from what I understand. So just to go over some of the ingredients, let's get started. So you can see here we now have all the ingredients laid out. I have my recipe sitting out here and I am ready to go. So few of the all the recipe items here are we have 2 sticks of butter softened, which I put in the microwave for about 1 minute at 20% power, and these are soft. So I'm a guy, I'm a handyman, I do it fast, right? We'll be doing 1 cup of light brown sugar. Now I have dark brown sugar, but this calls for light brown sugar, and I had to dig through the cupboards to find it, but I found it. And we have 1 3/4 cups of all-purpose flour in the bag. We have 1 1/2 cups of quick or old-fashioned oats. She says I used quick. We have 1 1/2 teaspoon of baking soda, which is this thing right here, baking soda, and 1/2 teaspoon of salt. So that's going to be the crust and the crumble topping. For the date filling, we have 2 packages. It calls for 2 8-ounce packages of chopped pitted dates. Let me show you what we have. And I'm very excited about this because I'm always looking for ways to use our harvest. And we have here a whole pound of dehydrated figs from the fig tree I showed you earlier. So I'm very excited to be using these. Quarter cup of sugar and 1.5 cups of water. And so we're going to put these things together. I'm going to measure out everything first, and then we'll be mixing them together and making sure they're correct. Yeah, isn't that going to be fun? So to begin with, we're supposed to take a medium bowl and mix together the dry ingredients. Now that's going to be the oats, the flour, and the baking soda and salt, which I've put in here, both in the same bowl. Yep, I've done it. Half a teaspoon each. And we're going to put all these into this bowl, this medium bowl, and mix them up. Ooh, now that was not brilliant, was it? I think I may have had something moist in that cup. Yeah, in this bowl already, folks, I'm not the chef here, okay? So, I'm going to back up to a bigger bowl. Yeah, that was going to make a mess real quick, wasn't it? And of course, the baking soda and salt, and we will, that one, no, okay. There we go. And we are going to whisk this together to mix it up well. And set it aside, of course. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to be taking, now, I don't know why brown sugar is not considered a dry ingredient, but for the purposes of this, it is not considered a dry ingredient, which, okay, it's not my recipe. I'm not going to question it. So we're going to put in the butter and the brown sugar. Now this butter, I ran in the microwave for a minute at 20% power. Your microwave may vary. You can also leave this sitting out on the counter. It's another way to bring it to room temperature so it's softened. That is what I chose to do because I am very impatient and I'm trying to make YouTube content. Oh, Lordy, yeah, the things we do, huh? Okay, so come down here and now we're supposed to mix this together until it's nice and creamy. Now it says to do this with a wooden spoon, and I don't believe we own a wooden spoon, oddly enough. As much as Mrs. Bowtie likes to cook, I may just have to buy her a wooden spoon. Now I don't know about you, but to this handyman's eyes, that looks smooth and creamy. That's the butter and the brown sugar. So, the next step here is to set it aside, add dry ingredients, and mix well. Okay, so we're supposed to add the dry ingredients to this and mix well. Now, am I supposed to use the whisk or am I supposed to use the spatula? I'm going to opt for the spatula. You know, I did take home ec classes. Anybody remember home ec classes? Tell me in the comments if you did. And I remember in home ec classes, I took them and I learned how to cook because I wanted to know. And it's one of the reasons why I have made my own breakfast since about 8th grade, because I learned how to cook. And I've made myself the same breakfast ever since, which to my reckoning comes out to about 52 years worth of the same breakfast. And with my ADHD brain, it doesn't bother me one bit. It gives me peace and comfort to know what I'm having for breakfast in the morning and how to do it. And it's part of my relaxing morning routine. To these handyman eyes, this looks nice and mixed. I am very happy with that. So the recipe calls for diced dates. Now I don't have diced dates. What I have here is whole figs that were stuck into a dehydrator, and they're probably just a little bit big. And so I was looking at how to cut these. Now the first thing I know about these figs is they're gummy. You put them on a knife, they're going to gum up the knife maybe. So handily enough, the recipe says to spray your knife. Well, two options. Number one, you could run your knife frequently under cold water, or you could just spray your knife with some kind of cooking oil. I'm going to use one we have available here, and we're going to try to slice these things up. Oh my, that works really good. I am very pleased with that. Okay, how about a little fast video here? Well, frankly, slicing those up was a pain in the neck, and in all fairness, my sister-in-law did tell me that if you want to do it the easy way, just stick it in the food processor and pulse it a couple times. Next time, that's what I'm doing. So I'm going to add our sugar and our water. That's a quarter cup of sugar and 1.5 cups of water. It was full up to above the mark here, so it's 1.5 cups of water. And it says to heat this over a low heat until it is thick. And it says it should take about 10 minutes. So let's see what we can do here. It did say be sure to continually stir. I have a feeling what's going to happen here is it's going to rehydrate these figs, in their case dates, in my case figs. It's going to rehydrate them a little bit and make it into a little bit of a gooey mess. So let me get on that and we will come right back. So this has definitely thickened up quite a bit. It's barely heated it in 10 minutes, but it has thickened up to the consistency of, I don't know, gravy? I don't know. I'm not the chef here. It's thickened it up to the consistency of some motor oil that's been used for far too long. How's that sound? So now we're going to put this together. So the oven is already preheated to 400 degrees. And I've already taken the opportunity to separate the crumble mix into 2 halves, and I am instructed here to put half of it in the bottom and press it into a 9 by 13 pan, and that is not working real good with the spoon. I'm just going to tap it lightly. Oh, that's working better. Okay, folks, I am not a chef. I don't know what I'm doing. If I can do this, you can do this. If you have a fig tree in your yard and you're not sure what to do with those figs, don't just rake them up or mow them over with a mower. Pick them when they're good and use them in a recipe, because that is how we feed the world, right? So I am going to be taking a couple of these pieces over to my friend who owns the fig tree from whence these figs came. Next, after that, we spread on the mix over the top of this. It's not supposed to cool, is it? Crumble. Okay. It's thickened. You can tell it's really thickened. So I'm going to spread this over the base. Probably would have been better with a spatula. The way the instructions probably tell me to do it. Yeah, well, sometimes I am a manual reader. I do like to read the instructions. I'll admit, sometimes I don't follow them very well. I know. So, all right, so there's the mix all spread over. The oven is preheated to 400 degrees, which I've already said. And I'm going to spread this over the top. This is the other half of the crumble mixture. We will be spreading this over the top evenly as possible. I got to break up some of these clumps a little better. Oh, this smells. Oh my goodness, this already smells amazing. My brother and his wife are both just raving about how their bars came out. And so I am looking forward to this, because I'm always up for finding something new to do. Part of my ADD brain, always looking for something new to do with the harvest, right? So there we go. That's about as even as my little brain can do this. And I'm going to smooth it out somewhat here. And we are going to be sticking this into the oven for 25 to 30 minutes until the date bars are light golden brown. You want to let it cool for 15 minutes, but you also want to cut into the bars while they're warm, which really sounds delicious. So yes, this is the first time I have ever made this, and we're going to find out together back at the table what this tastes like. Oh, I'm so excited. Here we go. Okay, 25 to 30 minutes, and we will know what we've got. How about that, folks? For me, it'll be 25 to 30 minutes. For you, it's just going to be a second. Oh my goodness, all this mess for just some date bars? Okay, that may have been a little bit staged. All better. Handyman done. Here we go. Let's get to the eating part. Yum. It has been 28 minutes, and boy, does that not look amazing. I'll let it, whoa, doggone it. I'll let that sit for another 15, and we will cut into it. But boy, the house smells so good. Yum. Well, it's been 15 minutes, and this has cooled for a little while. I can now put my hands on it. It's still a little warm. It smells so good. If this turns out bad, let's just focus on the fact that I didn't burn down the kitchen. Keep positive, folks, because if it does turn out bad, I have a disclaimer. So Mrs. Bowtie can't complain. She's the one that bought me that shirt. Okay, so here we are, 15 minutes, and I'm going to cut out the corner that I stuck my thumb in. Silly me. And we're going to give this thing a taste test. Oh my goodness. This smells so good. It comes out in one piece. Now, just in passing, I will mention that I dehydrated these figs for 16 hours at 135 degrees Fahrenheit. I have a feeling I was supposed to only do it for 12 hours. I'm looking back over my videos to remember. I think it's 12 hours I'm supposed to do it, but we'll have to see how that goes. But anyway, this is the official taste test, so let's see what happens. Give me a little crumbly top. It came out beautifully of the pan. Wow. Oh my goodness. That's amazing. Hey, if I can do this, you can do this. Comment below if you try this, because I want to hear how your experiment went. This is supposed to be done with dates. You can buy dried dates at the store, a package of them, 8-ounce packages. You can do the same thing. Sorry, couldn't pass up a second bite. That's amazing. That is truly amazing. Okay, so if you try this and you like it, please do click the thumbs up. Be sure to subscribe to Bowtie Life on YouTube or follow us on Facebook, because these videos are going to be on both places. And I'm very excited about that. Oh my goodness, this is incredible. If you have a fig tree, don't know what to do with the figs, need a new idea? Here it is. Oh wow. Yeah. Now this took about a gallon bag, almost a gallon bag of figs. So that's a lot of figs that were taken up here. And the flavor, beautiful. Just be sure they're right. Be sure they're nice and gooey inside and ready to pick. Hey, for those of you who have subscribed to Bowtie Life on YouTube, you've helped make Bowtie Life what it is today. For those of you who are following and have liked our Facebook page, I appreciate you following along too. We're trying to grow this social media as well, and hope that you watch us in the future and keep up with what's going on in the garden. Y'all have a blessed day.